Hey everybody, we're going to be doing a continuation of lesson 3.5 today, but before that I think I would like for you to try this warm-up. So pause your video, try the questions, and then when you're ready, hit play. All right, here's all the work for your warm-up. So you may want to just stop right now and take a quick picture so that you can check all of your work. Like I said, this is lesson 3.5 continued. We just have 4 examples that we're going to go over today. The goal of today is to learn how we can apply properties of logarithms to help us solve logarithmic equations. So in this first example, you'll see obviously there's an equals sign, and so the goal is to find the value of x. But before we begin, what we're going to do is recognize that this left side of the equation has 2 separate logarithms. Now, we have learned in this last lesson that there are properties that allow us to move things around and kind of condense everything back into a single logarithm. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to take this left side of the equation and we're going to apply the properties that we know. And so we know that this 3 was an exponent. We also know that minus means quotient. And so that's going to condense my left side of my equation down to just log base 5 of x to the third over 4. Now what we're going to do is we are going to try our solving process. Now you see how there's a log base 5 on both sides of the equation? Well, those two things basically cancel each other out. So all you're left with is all the stuff that's inside of each logarithm. And now you can solve the equation. You're going to be multiplying by 4, which would be 64. And then to solve x cubed, you would take the cube root. That's the opposite of raising something to the third power. And so that's going to give you x is equal to 4 as your solution. Okay, next equation, same sort of idea. We're going to first condense the left side of the equation by applying properties. So I see 2 numbers in the front that would have been exponents. So let's kind of put those back as powers. I'm not going to do anything with the right side of the equation right now because it's already condensed. I'm going to do one more step because I know that minus means that these 2 things would have been divided. Okay, now we're in better shape. So now what we can do is we can cancel the logs because there's 1 on each side. And I'm actually going to simplify here inside this parentheses because I know 6 squared is 36. And remember that something to a fractional exponent, that just represents a radical. So 27 to the 1/3 power is just the cube root of 27. Keep simplifying. What is the cube root of 27? That is 3. And then we have one more step. 36 divided by 3 gives you x equals 12. Okay, 2 more examples. Number 3, same initial process. We're going to put these back into a single logarithm. The plus sign means product. We have a log on both sides, so they cancel each other out, leaving you with 5x is equal to 10. The next step is to divide by 5, and you get x is equal to 2. Okay, I'm actually going to change this bottom equation real quick. Let's change it. Let me fix that. Let's change this number to a 2 instead of an x. I think that's going to be a lot easier to work with. So we're going to do one more, and you're going to want to pay close attention to this last example because it's going to be a little different than the other 3. The first step is not going to be different though. The first step of condensing this left side of the equation is going to be the same as what you've seen in the other three examples. So plus, remember, means product. So we're going to start with multiplying, and I actually think I'm going to go ahead and multiply all that through. So that would actually be 2x minus 12. Here's the problem. This is why it's different. This equation does not have a logarithm on the other side to make it cancel. So in order to continue in this problem, what you're going to do, I don't know why I wrote 16, hold on. What you're going to do is you're going to apply the concept of what a logarithm is, meaning a logarithm is solved by taking this little number and saying 4 to the second power equals all the stuff that's on the inside. Okay, think about what this means. If I said log base 3 of 9 and I told you to solve that, you would be thinking 3 to what power equals 9, right? The only difference between this and what I'm showing you now is that I'm giving you the answer. So instead of saying 3 to what power is 9, I'm kind of like saying 3 to the second is 9. So I'm saying to you 4 to the second is equal to this inside stuff. We don't know what it is, but we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to solve. First, we're going to call this 16 because 4 squared is 16. We're going to add 12. And then divide by 2. So your answer is x is equal to 14.